Our political editor, Jane Patterson, says, well, as we all knew, I think September 23rd wasn't really much of a surprise.
Now, before he resigned as Prime Minister at the end of last year, John Key dropped very hints about a September 23rd election. That's the timetable that everyone had really been expecting. It doesn't really advantage parties to go too early into an early election. They do tend to get punished unless they have a very good reason. So Bill English sticking to that timetable.
What did he say about possible coalitions? Because this is obviously important every election year, but it seems that there's a real early concentration on what Winston Peters is going to do, who Bill English can work with, and so on.
Again, this is really following the election year script of John Key. He would also about this time outline who he would like to work with. Bill English saying in his post-cabinet briefing today, or his briefing in the at Parliament, that he would like to work with United Future, with ACT and the Māori Party, of course National Party's current partners. But he also did say that while they would be an unlikely partner, he would also consider post-election negotiations with Winston Peters, but certainly not putting that out there as a favourite. They really want to stick to the parties that they know and work with at the moment.
Yeah, although there's not a huge number to be gained from working with Peter Dunn and David Seymour, is there? They bring one each with them unless something remarkable happens. And the Māori Party, once again, a small caucus there. One of the parties he worked at, that we absolutely know he's not going to work with, is the Greens. He was having a bit of a go, Jane.
He was, and just coming back to your point about not many parties, that's why he and John Key before him have left the door open to Winston Peters. They can't afford to rule Mr Peters out in New Zealand First at this stage of the game. They're very aware of those 4 seats that are held by their confidence and supply partners. But yes, coming back to the Greens, a tried and true election tactic, slap into the Greens, and he's tagging on Labour as well. The Memorandum of Understanding actually gives National a bit of a target for Labour and the Greens to label them as far left, Labour being dragged to the left. Him talking today about how pretty much the only party in Parliament they really wouldn't work with would be the Greens. Coming quickly on behind would be Labour. But it really sounded like electioneering. It sounded like a stump speech today, so laying out the stable government, the building the New Zealand economy, jobs and that sort of thing, and then having a crack at the opposition. So we're feeling like election year already.
Yes, it does feel that way, doesn't it? Jane Patterson, our political editor.